hear me out. I want to talk about Monster Hunter Portable Third some more. Some time has passed since the last time we talked about this entry, and I'd be lying if I said I haven't been thinking about it. To be honest, I've been thinking about it a lot, actually. So much so that I found myself playing the game off and on since the video came out. Because, you know, the game is fantastic. Plus, there's some stuff I just didn't do, like the event quests and a few other larger hunts that a handful of people were asking about. A lot. If you're a returning viewer, don't expect a full experience or anything. This is going to be a much more laid-back video, but still fun. Trust me, I got you. And if you're new around here, hey, how's it going? LouTwoShoes here. There's a part 1 video that you should probably go watch first. Go ahead, if you want to pause right now, we'll still be here when you get back. Okay, we're caught up? Great. Now then, like I said at the start of the video, hear me out. I want to talk about Portable Third some more, and I figured jumping right back into where we left off last time is as good a spot as any. Taking out what could arguably be described as the final big bad hunt in the game, Alatreon. A monster whose spawn point was originally in Tri, but decided to make a guest appearance on this silly little device with its silly little ability to use just about every goddamn silly little element. What a bastard. I'm torn on this monster overall. It's kind of the reason it didn't get much of a spotlight in the previous video. Is it cool that this thing has a wide variety of bullshit to throw at you just to keep you on your toes? Yes. Does it also feel like some devs OC, or rather their OM, original monster as it were, who's really cool and has every elemental type attack including death, and could take every Fatalis at once? I forgot to say in a fight, but it kind of makes it funnier. I'm leaving that. Either way, it's dead, and we're moving on to new content. There's a decent list of things that I'd like to see, but I also need a quick refresher just to get back into the swing of things. So, what if we started off with just a perfectly normal Arzuros hunt?
Well done, Arzuros!
Also, if you didn't know, he's a giant version. The big and small monsters got a brief mention before, but I missed a few, and they're fun and silly enough to be briefly mentioned again.
Oh my
that?
God.
Holy shit, that swipe is huge. You've got an even more dumped up Arzuros that's the size of an Amazon delivery truck and hits like one too. Coming back to another Arzuros hunt after a bit of 4U and Wilds made me realize that this might be my favorite, like, starter monster. And honestly, I think he's in my top 10. Is that blasphemy? Probably. But you know, I don't think I give a shit. Following that act, there are both the regular and crimson subspecies of Qurupeco that are just... I don't know if these are really monsters even? It's sort of like fighting an even more aggressive goose, really. However, the devs thought about how much they like making the player suffer, so they had this one in particular call in the Big Dick Pickle. Fun fact, it's a large crown-sized Devil Joe, much like my PSP collection that started thanks to my love for this game. Got most of these for like $7 each, and only one of them doesn't work and disappointed me like the Crimson Qurupeco hunt. It just summons a tiny Uragon, which is cute, but you can also just hunt it in its own quest, and if what I'm reading online is true, there's a similar quest in Monster Hunter Tri. While I have played Tri, I never got around to checking out any of the hub stuff, but I can't wait for all the dumb bullshit quests they have over there as well. Assuming there's a decent handful of event quests, and if I can even get access to them. But that's a later me problem. We also have a tiny Lagombi here, that I find sort of terrifying. I know it's weird when this is a game where we look like an average human taking on giant monsters all the time, but for some reason there's something unsettling about fighting a creature that's roughly the same height as us. Maybe because it's just not the norm here, or that it almost makes it feel closer to the real world? I'm unsure, but I feel more scared fighting this thing than its normal size counterpart. And speaking of scary, Sammy, I'm here to help. I think he ate it. I think he fucking ate it! I did mention the giant nipple snarf hunt in the previous video, which is a Metal Gear Solid crossover event, and the quest rewards you with some Peace Walker themed armor. Good stuff, I know. But I mentioned another quest last time that's also a Metal Gear Solid crossover that rewards you with the Snake Palico armor. The part I didn't mention though is that it's a bowgun only quest. I both love this and hate it. It makes total sense with what the crossover is based on, but I also don't know how the fuck to use this thing. Isn't gonna stop me from trying, though. I could test this thing out on a much easier target first, but like, what if I just said fuck it and made a gunner set and just hope for the fucking best? Also, this set is from another event quest. Don't worry, I'll talk about it too, and some other armor and weapons in this game since I didn't really talk about them much. But first, I'ma try and not blow myself up with this gun that looks like I ripped some pipes out of the basement and loaded them up with powder and a fuse. I gave it my best literal shot, but I haven't messed with a bow gun outside of, like, I think Monster Hunter Rise. So the hunt looked a bit fucky. I managed to calm the Baroth down and roughed up the Glacial Ignactor, but yeah. It went south pretty quick. Ended up carding 3 times, and our end screen looked like I got Smash Bros obliterated. But with the encouragement of Sammy's ghost, I pressed on and shot the shit out of those 2 frosty fucks. I even got this sick trick shot too, just ignore all the times I tried to fire this thing with no ammo in it. This long-winded animation can suck my ass. But our reward was everything I had hoped for and more. Miku looks amazing. Thomas too, but he always looks great. Speaking of looking great, have you seen this outfit? Do you want to talk about it? Because I want to talk about it. Plus the wide range of other armor and weapons from things like Uniqlo, a real-life clothing company. There's also a ton of, like, anime goodies, too. Seriously, why the fuck did no one tell me that goddamn Tetsaiga from Inuyasha was in this game? While I remember next to nothing about this show, I always thought this sword was so sick. I don't know if anyone's gonna know what the fuck I'm even talking about, and to be fair, I must have still been drawing in crayon when this show first aired in the States, so it's sort of hard to remember for myself. But this. Oh, I remember this. Kid made me be screaming to the point of, like, dry heaving and almost barfing up honeycomb if they knew about this. There's also these pants that still make a return in newer titles. I have no idea how far back these go in the Monster Hunter timeline, but if they just showed up in every future title, because I love them a lot, that'd be pretty cool, Capcom. I could do without the double pickling, DP for short, that's required to even get the item drop to maybe make these. I won't lie to you, I got the item drop once and then duplicated it, because I ain't going back in there. You've also got this long sword from some manga that I've literally never heard of, and this other sword from some other manga I've never heard of. But hey, they got a Detective Conan outfit for your Palico that's mildly cursed. There's a lot more to show off, and honestly, I don't think I unlocked every piece of gear, but I made a pretty decent dent for sure. I'm also finding out after the fact, like, I'm pretty much done with the video. This exists. This is sick. Bring it back. It's also kind of cool to see weapons that are new to this game, specifically something like Akantor's Switch Axe, since he didn't show back up in the 3rd generation until this game. So this is like the debut of this weapon, and I think that's kind of interesting. You could say the same thing for weapon types that got Switch Axe from Monster Hunter Tri, an example being like the Royal Ludroth Dual Blades. But Akantor is on my list of things to see, and I want to beat him up before the end of this video, and I needed a segue if I can be perfectly honest. Going through my notes and findings, there seemed to be a lot of comments about Akantor and cooler Akantor. So here they are once again, introducing canonically first our giant snapping turtle village boss from Freedom 2, weighing in at roughly 1 Ukanlos because I'm really good at my job and I can't be bothered to Google it, Akantor. You know, coming back and hunting this giant beast is weirdly nostalgic, and I'm assuming that's how you're supposed to feel, which is weird because I never played Freedom 2 or Freedom Unite when I was a kid. Hell, I didn't even play them until I was much older, but still roughly the same height. I just love this monster. Even though he's an absolute bastard sometimes, he's just kind of different from other monsters, and I like him for it. For example, he can't be trapped at all, which might make you believe he's in the Elder Dragon tier, but he's actually just a giant flying wyvern. Weird, but alright. So that might raise some questions, and he should totally be capturable, but instead he's just too goddamn big. Like, that should be obvious, probably. Hindsight is 20/20, I suppose. And speaking of that, we got a new fighting arena because that last one was a bit shit. It looked cool before, but it made me want to tear my goddamn hair out. They sort of fixed the floor here, and that's fucking great because it led to one of my favorite hunts, I think, probably ever. This felt like a friendly rivalry almost, seeing Akantor again after our Freedom Unite encounter. I remember it being a really fun fight there, and it's just as fun, if not more fun here. It might feel different going into this with 4 players, but in a solo hunt, Akantor pulls no punches. And neither did I. I'm gonna go on record and say that this fight was so good that Akantor has jumped into my top 10 monsters. Here's my personal top 10 if you were curious. It will most likely change within a week, because it always does. After beating the shit out of Akantor and getting the shit beat out of me, it was time to finish what we started. Unsurprisingly next, the hub boss of one of the best games ever made, weighing in at roughly 1 Akantor because no shit me, good joke, Ukanlos. The big frosty bitch that could be roughly described as Akantor 2. Which is probably a little mean since I really do like this monster despite how many swears I yell while fighting it. God damn it. Since our first attempt went less than great, I figured I'd bring back an old fit that I know works. It's a little snug around the hips, but that's probably the estrogen. Anywho, Akantor was a fun fight that brought out my A game both here and in Freedom Unite, and there was a similar effect with Ukanlos too. However, Ukanlos felt like a more frustrating fight than Akantor in Freedom Unite, and doubled down on it here in Portable Third. Still a great fight, don't get me wrong, but Ukanlos just feels like Akantor if he was just a bigger asshole. Does that make any sense? Like, Akantor can pull off some fuckery, but Ukanlos can do the exact same thing while just sort of insulting you.
Where'd you go?
Heat-seeking.
Popping under the
Woo!
ground.
Please don't wall bounce. Oh my god!
Oh no!
It might just be me, but I swear Ukanlos pulls off more cheese attacks, and just, it kind of makes me love to hate him and that dumb shovel chin of his. Oh my god. We didn't defeat the beast here, but then it dawned on me. Equip a longsword and shred that bitch like a brick of mozzarella cheese again, just like in Freedom Unite. Fewer things feel as good as seeing that victory screen after an intense hunt. And with every monster in this game felled, I think we can say that Portable Third is done. And it's time to move on to that For You video that's still coming. Don't worry. But one more hear me out. There's a ton of these arena hunts facing off against every flavor of monster in this game. And I have one in mind that might pique your interest because it certainly piqued mine. A lone Zinogre in the large arena with no equipment. Which is a very lackluster way to say butt-ass naked. Just me, myself, and my pickle. Greatsword. Now, I don't know what these quest details say, but if I had to guess, it says something along the lines of, good fucking luck, gamer. Because this quest just beat the shit out of me. For like hours. It's not a joke. It weirdly reminds me of my time spent in Monster Hunter Frontier, where you didn't necessarily need to perfect a fight to beat it, but your wiggle room for fucking up is pretty slim. And you know, I kind of fuck with it. Not for every fight though, that shit gets insanely tedious and time consuming for not much payout besides a gold star sticker and a hearty pat on the ass. After several aggravated goddamn attempts of slamming my head into a fucking wall, we eventually got back into that Frontier flow and finessed that thunderfucker back to whatever bug-riddled swamp he crawled out of. Probably Area 7 right here, if I had to guess. And our reward is... Champion Proof. It took a while to find this, but it makes a hammer. Oh, it must be my goddamn birthday. And look at that, we have enough parts after one successful hunt in there. Wow. Look, it's my birthday. Cut me some fucking slack. Demon's Visage. Non-standard gems and genes of... terrestrial... I assume it's terrestrial. Organisms are used. But why is its hair red? I don't know what the fuck that means, but it looks edgy and, I mean, kinda sick, right? Still though, cool event quest. And a good one to end off on too. I've basically done everything there is to do here, so... do I just shelf this game and stare at it longingly, thinking about all the good times I've had? Do I just play another Monster Hunter game? Do I finish For You? Nope! I'm starting all over, playing this on a brand new used PSP like Capcom intended. I've already been at this for a few weeks now, and it's So fucking good. I am just thriving in my enclosure, and it's great. This is now my favorite game, like, ever. It somehow beat Dark Souls 1, and I don't even know how to feel about that. And it might change depending on the day, but as of right now, in this moment, it's Monster Hunter Portable Thirds Day. Hey, how's it going? I just wanted to say thank y'all for taking another trip with me through this game that I just can't get enough of. And don't be surprised if I end up making another Portable Third video. I'm only like kinda sorry. But real talk, it's like really fucking good, so like who cares? And don't worry, the For You video is still in the works. It's just taking a little longer than expected. I've also got a whole whiteboard list of shit behind me of videos I want to make, so stay tuned for those too. I'm just sort of rambling here at the end, but you know, thanks again for watching, as always. Appreciate y'all.